Hey everyone, welcome to VR Verdict Podcast. I'm starting a little early. This is our 15th VR Dev Round Table. I just wanted to start a little early because it gets chaotic once there's some more than 3 or 4 people in here. So we always miss the fun joinings of everyone, so I thought I'd kick it off. But yeah, 15. We do it every Friday, first Friday of every month. We have tab games. We have Dima, the Sushi Ben dev. We have Robert, who's working on Heartlands. Sometimes Johnny J from Weird Kid Studios joins us. I think Wookie's here. I'm not sure if he's 100% here yet, but kind of hang out and have a good chat about VR dev. After a while, things they start saying go way over my head, but it's still interesting and fun, so it's always a good time. It's always a argument about Unreal Engine versus what's the other one? The other one.
Hey,
Hey man, how's it going?
oh, good.
I don't know if you were Wookie or someone else, because
I don't know no name tags or anything.
soon. We're actually live. I was just kind of doing an intro because it's always funny. We always kind of just cut in, and there's so many people, so it's kind of fun to watch people pop in and just start talking. So,
Oh, nice.
so that's
Yeah,
Justin from Tab Games. Saw you released your horror pack on App Lab and all that.
Oh yeah. I released the Haunted APK. It's like 3 little games right now, but it'll be more of it. It's pretty fun. Like
I love
inspired
it.
by like light gun games, like old arcade ones.
Yeah, it's really fun. Very hectic after a while.
Oh, yeah, I gotta balance the difficulty a bit on it.
I think it's fun. Like that's one game that keeps my head on a swivel. Like I'm just constantly like spinning around, even though you're kind of on rails, but you never know where they're coming
What
from.
direction
It's
they
fun.
come from. Yeah. How's your week been going?
Not too bad. I was on the road for work 2 days, and we headed up and got 8 inches of snow dumped on us throughout the day. So that, I mean, we know it's coming, but the first time is always a shock. So that was fun.
Sounds fun. It like never snows where I live.
Other
yeah,
than
I've
that,
been trying to resolve really deep like Unity issues this week. I got one going, the other one I think I'm close on like nailing down the source of it, but crazy Android stuff.
Seems like all of you guys have that kind of thing happen like every 3 months or so. Like how often do you think you run into that kind of thing?
This is not too often. I've been putting off like fixing it like forever. Like I didn't realize what the problem was at first. now I'm like, let me finally get this fixed because it's what's keeping me from like putting it fully onto like App Lab or like when I do it's gonna launch in the store, it's gonna have to be like fixed by then. So I'm like, let me get this going. So I've been spent like the last like 3 days doing that. A lot of imports, a lot of waiting on Unity.
It's always crazy to hear like you kind of know. It sounds like you kind of seem like there's some issues, but like I'll get to it, and then sometimes certain issues will affect everything. Well, I'm sure we'll hear Robert about how he's redoing a lot since last time we talked.
Oh yeah, because he's hopped over to Unreal 5, so he's. It was funny because before he was like, "Oh, I don't have any problems when we update in Unreal," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know." And then now he did, and he's having all kinds of issues. I'm like, that makes the Unity update sound easier.
Yeah, If nothing else, you have all proved that both platforms have issues. Like that's just game dev, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. Especially when you're using like a big like engine like that that's always being updated and never like fully fixed.
No.
Yeah, but it's been going good. I solved like one issue where the thing on the quest was randomly like 1 gigabyte like larger than it's supposed to be for no like apparent
Yeah.
reason. And then the other one, which I'm still fixing, is if it's not like a developer build, it crashes like when it starts. So figuring that one out.
How long do those bigger bugs? I'm on average. I'm just talking. Like, do they take to once you figure it out? I know how long it takes to figure out. It's forever sometimes, but just to get it squared out away.
Well, with this, like, I had to basically make like a new Unity project and drag everything over. So, um, shoot, it's probably yeah, it just depends. Because like if it's like a really giant import, like I have to do a couple of when I do bring in like everything, that takes like 2 hours to like the computer just sitting there doing its thing. So.
Yeah.
And then once you switch over to like the compile an Android build, like the first time, it takes like an hour and a half. So it's like an all day thing. And like some of the stuff eats up your CPU like 100%. So it's not even like you can do other stuff while it's like going on.
Yeah,
So it's like work on paper, I guess.
yeah. That's when you draw your concept art and storyboards, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You always have so much going on. You're always doing different crap. So I'm assuming you keep yourself busy in those moments anyway. So
Yeah, I tried to. Or I'll just like hop on like quest builds in my games and like record like gameplay footage to use for later. Or
yeah,
other things are like I started drawing a bunch of like handmade like textures in case I want to like make another small like horror game for the haunted APK. I can have like some creepy looking hand drawn stuff, and I'm gonna like kind of layer on top of each other.
that's awesome. So much like that, like Cyril, he's come and talked to us a bunch. Like he does like a sci-fi game, then a fantasy game, sci-fi, just to keep things fresh. Does that kind of what you're doing kind of help you? Like you had vehicular manslaughter. Or, I'm sorry, that's probably not the name, but that's what pops in my head every time I talk about it. But doing other little side games, does that just kind of keep your batteries charged up and not focusing
Yeah,
on one
sometimes it's
thing?
just like a to kick back in the evenings, but like a lot of times too, with like what's helped with having like the haunted APK, especially because it's so like small and simple, is like when I want to test out new things for the AI that I want to use a samurai slaughterhouse, I can kind of put it together in like a much simpler environment.
Nice.
For that, there's one thing where the enemies were falling off this thing called like a nav mesh, which tells them like where they can and can't walk. They were like kind of like teleporting back instantly, and I was trying to get them to like jump back on, and I couldn't get it right. But then in the Haunted APK, I had like I'm like let me figure it out here. So I had like the kind of frog enemies that were jumping around, and I kind of like tried a bunch of different stuff, and I was able to like land on how to get them to you know jump back onto the nav mesh like by themselves. So it's not all like choppy. So I was able to take that update and bring it to Samurai Slaughterhouse to kind of clean that up. So yeah, it helps like a lot to have like a kind of simpler environment where you can figure things out and without having to figure out in your more like complex like game where it takes
Nice.
there's all kinds of little things going on.
I didn't even think of like the games being so different. Like to my brain, like the AI wouldn't even match up, but apparently it helps you anyway. But
Yeah,
I know zero about anything.
simpler thing. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like it's a lot of. Well, yeah, the AI is a lot simpler, like the Haunted APK, but yeah, it does have uses a lot of the same systems in Unity. So this is just kind
That
of
makes sense.
yeah, you gotta isolate like how they work and things like that.
I can't tell you in the Haunted APK that like when you load into that Game Boy screen at the start, like I've just sat there and I've restarted a couple times because that's so fucking cool. It just hits something in my I don't want to say in my inner child because that's gross, but in my brain that it's just awesome.
Yeah, it makes it that nostalgia thing. Like, have you played the latest update recently, where there's like the outdoor like gun area?
No, I just downloaded. I saw when you threw it on App Lab, I grabbed it. because I've been getting it from you directly since
Oh yeah, if
until
you get
then.
it from
So
Apple, there's like the third game on it is called like the Gun Quest, and that's like the
I saw videos on Twitter, but I haven't played it yet. But I just grabbed it, so yeah, this weekend I
nice.
should be popping in there.
Yeah, that one's pretty good too. I got it a little more like shaped up. Like that one's a little more fast paced. Like the guns fire faster, and then the enemies spawn more. But I have it set up so the enemies kind of spawn in front of the direction you're moving, so they kind of surround you a little less. So it has like a similar gameplay, but like a different like feel and like vibe to it when you're
Yeah,
playing it because of the way it's balanced differently.
that's kind of the vibe I got from the video, so I was excited.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that came out.
Awesome.
Came together like pretty quickly too.
Yeah, I don't know, like again like a surreals games with old style 8-bit, 16-bit type graphics. Like those games in VR, just like I don't know, they're so fucking cool.
I know it's great. It's like you're in like a video game, or like I guess you are in a video game, no matter which one you're playing. But as you like imagined it as like a kid, what being in a video game would
Yeah.
be like.
Like I've seen, it's kind of old news now. I mean, it's like 2 months, but they got that NES Zelda mod up and running where you can play first person through the game. Like that just looks amazing. I haven't got to try it yet, but
Oh yeah, and that's actually been out for quite a while because basically it's just like Doom, but someone made like a WAD that where it like mimics like Zelda, and then someone just put that and load up in the VR version of GZ Doom. That's a good
nice.
one to do it. And there's also a Zombies Ate My Neighbors one you can load up and play in VR, and it's pretty good.
Nice.
And I was trying to play Strife and Hexen, but I couldn't get like the RPG, like the menus when you talk to the people to work right. But yeah, that thing's pretty cool. I was playing Doom 2 in it. It gets you motion sick, like if you're using the split motion, because it's a lot of movement, but a lot of like jerky fast movement because you're like oh my goodness.
That's awesome. Yeah, you could put anything from like regular NES or Super Nintendo into VR, and I'd fucking I'd need fresh pants and I'd play it.
No, I mean, obviously, you guys like Pixel Rip too because he's like the logo. But yeah, that's like one of my favorite games. Like, especially the second one. Oh, it's so good. Like,
yep.
Like playing in the room and like to turn off the TV and everything.
Yeah, that car ride where you're sitting in the back, like shooting, as a kid shooting things, and then it turns into a video game. Like, that's like fucking straight out of my childhood. Like, we used to sit in the back and shoot at things out the window with imaginary guns, and like that game is just fucking amazing. If you haven't played it, Pixar Up 1989 is the bomb. I play it once a year.
Yeah, I went back and replayed it recently because I hadn't played it on like the harder difficulty, and yeah, it's pretty fun.
Or where you're in that rental place and there's two systems and you play a game and you're like switching back and forth. Like I've done that shit in real life. It's so crazy.
Oh, I know, that's so funny. You could jump between games, and then like there's like the stuff the kids say. Like I'm like, oh my god, did I? Right? Like the kids like, oh, my uncle works for like this company. It's like, sure he does. Oh, that's great. And
That's
then the
funny.
mom says like, I heard it'll make you go blind, like if you sick.
And it's kind of in the second one, but in the first one, even more. Like where you're sitting in class and you're playing a game and you cause a distraction, and been there too. Like straight out of my history, like right there.
I know, playing Pokemon under the desk. Like,
that's awesome.
Dude.
Unlike your face.
Oh no.
What's up, dweeb?
I hope you're talking to
Justin. I gotta plug in my headphones. His face too. All right, hold on. What the fuck is having one headphone jack is a sin?
Timo, everybody, give him a hand.
I just kind of missed that in the first quest. I had like a headset jack on each side, like
yeah.
And they wanted you to buy those weird headphones where it was like one headphone on each side. I didn't have those, but it was nice to be able to plug in on either side.
Top 10 reasons VR will never be mainstream. What I just went through. Jesus Christ. Now I can't even hear anything.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hey.
We can hear you.
Okay, that's good. Damn, dude, that was crazy. Just plugging in my headphones.
I'd like to know all the people like Robert who cables bullshit for VR. Like how often you sitting there with it plugged in because it's charging?
Me, every day, all day.
Yeah.
I never unplug my headset. Permanently wired.
I got the head strap battery, like the people from the company sent it to me for free if I made it.
Hell yeah. Any VR head strap battery people, hit me up, dog. I got you. Got you.
Yeah, I got your Twitter handle right on my post, so they should be able to reach out.
Exactly. Yeah. Get out. Give me a battery pack. Save me from the life of cords. And send me some wireless headphones.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Oh. I know. As long as I'm playing like Beat Saber or the Dragon Fist Kung Fu, like my the headphones will get all hooked into like my hand, and I'll like literally rip my ear out.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
And I'm like, okay, let me like put it behind my back or like tuck it in my shirt after that.
Oh yeah, tuck the shirt tuck trick. That's the trip. No Justin, no Robert.
I don't know.
He's the life of the party.
I finally updated his video on the screen, and now he's got to change everything, so I'm gonna have to update it again.
Oh, really? I must have downloaded the wrong build because I'm looking at like an anime game. It looks pretty
really?
Yeah.
I still have the build from like 500 years ago. I'm never gonna update it until you add avatars. Give me some avatars.
Yep. I'm hoping by February.
Nice. So
yeah, I was gonna say like if you I found out from the Oculus SDK you can actually get the players like usernames like and just assign that like a name tag automatically if you wanted to, like so you didn't have to put a keyboard and everything in.
Nice.
So started looking because I want to put like leaderboards in the Honda APK when I get a chance. So I was looking into it a little bit.
Does that just pull it off like their info and like they just pop in? That would just be their name above their head.
Yep.
Like
yeah, you can make it like that. Like that was just probably the easiest way.
Is that Robert? Is that Robert?
Fuck, sorry about that, guys. I thought it was 9 for some reason.
You thought you were dying, bro? What?
No, I thought it was 9 o'clock for some reason. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I was late too, so don't worry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Funny
I just got here.
I also couldn't download the new version of the APK. Like, it just wasn't showing up as an option.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's how I got this anime one because I went to the link you sent and it's like a page saying here it is and there's no download.
Yeah, there's no download there. Okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me.
I guess I'll look at that. I made 2 separate ones, one for a round table, so it's supposed to be less confusing, but
okay. Well, I mean, it probably wouldn't have been if it was there, but like, so when I didn't see it there, I went to the other one, and that's how I got the anime thing. But this game does look pretty cool.
I'm seeing
to go back and watch
right
the episode about it.
Yeah. It must be Discronia, I think, is the last one.
Yeah, I see that on the poster here.
I'm seeing the same thing I always see, the Booper get home and everything like that.
No, you're not even going to see your updated video, man.
Yeah, it's sad. I was hoping I would see that.
Well, the stream is seeing it, so that's all that matters.
The stream.
But last week we were talking, I think Wookie and I just did an episode with the two of us, and fucking this person comes in and they're running around and apparently they can't talk and they're doing crap, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like, I think it's Robert. Then, like, I don't know what, 20, 30 minutes later, you can finally talk, and it's like, hey, it's Robert.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just wanted to crash the party. I thought it would be fun. Yeah.
I thought about doing that a few times.
Yeah.
You just like lurk like behind the screen like this.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. I would just like go over there and hide behind the thing and then come back out, walk over and just do this.
Yeah, you were petting me or something. Like, it was something.
Is Johnny
Watch my
Johnny
profile.
Johnny just gone?
He doesn't like us
So-
anymore.
So
Well, he's
I
still
mean-
got because his Weird Kid Studio
Yeah,
page on
I
Twitter.
talked
We
to
should
him
have
on
another
there.
conversation because that
Yeah.
page liked one of my posts recently.
Yeah,
I
same.
talked to him on there, and he said he had to close his personal account for personal reasons, but he can be reached at Weird Kid Studios
Damn.
handle. Yeah, I don't know.
I hope he's okay.
That's
Yeah,
what
same.
he said. Everything was fine. He didn't seem to want to talk about it, so I didn't push.
Okay.
Huh.
Maybe
I
he's
figured
got
it was
stalker.
Robert.
It's
Do it.
Robert's fault.
Probably. I don't know. Hope not. I really like Johnny. Johnny's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Yeah,
he's
it
just a
was
beacon of what's the word? Positivity. Yeah, there we go.
positivity. Yeah.
Good vibes, positivity.
Exactly.
Damn.
So flipping the switch on that, so you got to redo all of your characters and shit.
Yeah, it's a whole fucking thing. Like
What?
we've been
What?
fighting our characters for a while. Yeah, so we have to delay the launch of the beta, unfortunately. And like moving to 5, like skeletons all fucked up, and the assets just don't really fit, and it's a whole fucking mess. Some of our assets are made for UE4, some are made for UE5, and yeah, so we ended up just gutting the whole character system, and we're redoing something. It's gonna look a lot better. We have a lot more variation too. We were missing like heavy armor altogether before. Basically, like we would have like a lot of like leather and light metal and stuff like that, but nothing like full on heavy fucking plate armor. But now Nathan, how many different armor sets do you have as of right now? Over 40 armor sets. Yes.
Damn. Your homies are still at the studio?
Yes, we work very long hours. This is no surprise.
I'm
time
surprised you
is
had
it
time
there?
for us.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, you know.
We
We're
should
good
be in
though.
Horizon workroom so we can still be working while we.
Yeah,
maybe. That's not,
Have you guys used
I look
Horizon
forward to
Workrooms?
this
It's pretty dope, actually.
reprieve.
Like,
Oh,
it's pretty cool because you could be like in a room like this, but you can also see like your real computer screen, and there's like a little pass-through thing so you can see your keyboard. Like I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like the whiteboard thing. Like it's a good idea in concept, but then it's kind of not amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wasn't like in charge of the whiteboard. Like they
There
were
you go.
just using it to present, and I just kind of was there like watching and talking. But it was pretty cool. It was like they had like a big PowerPoint type thing. I don't know, but I've never like presented on it, so I don't know if it does or doesn't do things that I would want it to do when using it. But at least from an observer, like it was pretty handy.
I'll see you Monday, man.
We
Yeah,
put
we're
one in
on
here would just have dicks all over it.
hell yeah.
I forgot to mute my mic. Sorry about that, guys.
That's cool.
It's cool.
They're heading out. So
That's a peek behind the curtain of VR Dev.
yeah, something like that.
We could hear some. I wish I had a physical studio sometimes.
Yeah, I couldn't work remote all the time. Like how do you create a company culture without like having people in the studio? Like
What?
how are you just
company culture? What
For
is that?
meetings, yeah,
Why would
you have like
why
live
would-
meetings, or you have like you play Among Us together. I'm actually gonna do that now, like D-Mod.
uncultured? We're uncultured. I don't know. I don't care for that. Like as long as people are doing what they're supposed to do, I don't give a shit.
yeah. I don't know.
mean,
Like,
you can have, like,
we
team
have
building
all
events
kinds of
too,
like
that's
inside jokes and stuff that are like making it into the game that just wouldn't be there if we didn't have a whole team in the studio.
Yeah,
You know,
I can see that.
it's like
I don't know,
it's just amazing for collaboration.
I don't know. We're all
You can't
just on
collaborate
Discord
over
the whole
fucking
time.
Zoom. Ugh.
I disagree.
That's the worst though, because like, how are you supposed to like listen to music and be on Discord while you're working?
What we do, I do.
How?
Well, everyone on the
Okay.
team is always listening to music in the meetings.
But like, how? Like, I don't know. I can't concentrate on both those things.
You're just like
like,
forcing other people to listen to your music. That's what it is.
What? I'm confused. I don't know. everyone on my team is very like, and not antisocial, but just what? No, we're Zoomers. Everybody's Zoomers.
Dude, aren't you
Zoomers
like
today.
38?
What the fuck? No, I'm not that old. I'm only
He's
35.
35.
I'm like 33 or something, or 32.
Yeah, that's. I hate to tell you this, but you might need AARP soon.
What the fuck? What does it even
Maybe you
mean?
need an ARP. I found that out. You don't even need to be old. You could just get in and get the discounts if you want.
Get your senior discount down at the Kroger's,
Damn, dude. Damn. I don't know. I just enjoy. I mean, my team, everyone is just very online oriented, anyways. So like, putting them in a studio, they'd be fucking weird. It'd be fun.
And then you have your group chat. You could drop like memes and jokes in there and stuff.
Yeah, like
we do have a Slack that we do that with, but like, I don't know. Having like, to be fair, I've had bad experiences with like mobile or like people outside the studio. Like one of my guys, the guy who originally designed our combat, like he's great, but also he couldn't get his shit done, so that didn't really work. And then early on, we had a policy that was like, just come into the office at least 2 days a week, and then the rest of the time, if you want to work from home, that's fine. If you want to come in, that's fine. But like, work just wasn't getting done. So yeah, we ended that policy because of that. It's not good.
Well,
yeah, just have people log their hours and only pay them for the hours they work.
Yeah, I mean that's what we do. You only get paid.
Well, I mean that's the problem though. Like we have a clock-in system, but like there's no way to track like their actual what they're doing. Like not the way we do things, at least.
Well, I do. Like I know every single thing every single person's doing from the second.
How are you tracking?
Basically we use Codex, and we use Trello, and we use their invoices. So like they're at the end of every 2 weeks they send an invoice, and then it has like the hours of all the things that they've done. So like my animators, for instance, the animator said I spent 5 hours on a walk cycle.
Wait, are your people not actually? That sounds like contractors, not employees.
Yeah, we're all contractors, baby.
Yeah, like my people are all 40 hours a week fucking people.
To have a real payroll, like that's so expensive.
Yeah, our payroll is like $25,000 a month.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
It's like $800 extra a person. I'd rather just give that to them and then have them technically as contractors. Like they then pay a bunch for payroll.
Yeah, contract. I think for me at the moment, this being our first game, it's too risky to set it up.
I would agree with that.
Fire people too, like instead of just.
But like having, I originally liked the idea of doing everybody as contractors. My business partner was like, no, we need regular fucking people so they can be, have dedicated time to like what we're doing and they can be devoted. And he didn't want to deal with, setting up contracts and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I
kind of like it because it's like, well, if you spent way too many hours doing something that shouldn't have taken that long, I'll just stop giving you tasks. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's what we do.
That's how I know that people are working.
Yeah, that's exactly. We've had that happen where like someone wasn't able to keep up with the pace because I knew exactly how much hours it took to do something, and then their invoices didn't reflect that. And so either they were just not doing a good job on their invoices, or they were lying. So you don't give them any more work.
That's like a lot of managerial shit to deal with. It seems like.
No, I mean, it's not like a small discrepancy. It's not like, I could have done this in 2 hours and it took them 3. Like, it's like, if it's something big, it'll stand
It's blaring. Yeah, it's usually blaring.
I guess, but like, I can just turn around and look behind me and make sure my employees are doing their jobs. It's a lot easier.
Don't you can't you just see their commits though, and they commit stuff to plastic or whatever your source control?
Yeah, like certainly. But
we have Discord integration, so like literally at the end of the day, people are constantly pushing their work all day long and all night long. So it's like you just see it. People post their work in progress as soon as anyone finishes anything, they post it in the Discord. Like, I don't know, just
that's like the contract work I do too, for like the Snapchat lens stuff.
Now, I would like an optional in-person studio just because I think it would be fun for like, when you have a big deadline coming up and you want to, everybody to band together and have some fun game coding sessions, but I think that I would like it. I would like to have like an in-person studio because I do think that it is less efficient to have an online studio than an in-person studio.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like it's like
I think it's a huge difference. I mean, maybe if you have the time to keep track of everybody like that, like you guys clearly can. I can't do that. It's just like I've got my own shit I need to do, and there's a lot of it. So I just expect people to be able to get their shit done as much as I can and as well as I can. And if they can't, I'm just going to be annoyed and fire people, and that's not a good way to do things. Because then you just burn through a lot of fucking people, and that's not good. So versus in studio, if I turn around and
local people,
somebody's not doing shit, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Get back to work, that kind of shit.
So, yeah, but like the other thing is like I'm able to hire people from other countries that are just like, or contract for people from other countries that I pay them a salary that's like decent here in America, but that's like they're like living like kings over in
I'm not opposed to like hiring people for like one-off work and stuff, but my business partner very much just doesn't want to deal with the logistics of dealing with like contractors from like another country, for instance, or even other states for that matter.
Personally. Even other states, like to me, it's just like it feels so. I can just I have so many people I could potentially hire. That just make
I know that's I feel that as well, but
it's great because like
I like using my own computer for stuff, and I'm sure a lot of other people feel more comfortable on their own like home build computer where they got it all configured how they want and everything. So
we have company hardware though, like everyone here gets like company like work computers. And they can do whatever they want to with them.
Damn.
Top of the line shit too. Like Nathan's shit is a 5950X with 120 gigabytes of RAM. It's hard to fucking beat. Like our lowest spec system here is like a Ryzen 5 3600 and like 32 gigabytes of RAM.
How do you afford all that?
I was very specific in my contract with my business partner that I wanted a budget for hardware. You cannot build a game with shitty hardware. Not efficiently.
My computer shit, and we've been going crazy.
Upgrade to a Threadripper, and you could build your game twice as good or twice as fast.
My computer is like worse than a Quest at the moment. It's fucking sick.
As awesome as your game looks, Dima, if you would spend $12,000 on a computer, it would look even better.
What? How does it? That's not going to help how it looks.
Sure, it is.
How?
You can iterate much faster. Then again, I guess you're doing most managerial shit these days.
Maybe your compiles and like imports and stuff, but that's not going to save you. I mean, I don't do regular, tasks like doing your art stuff. It's not going to save you a ton of time.
Yeah, that's not helping. The stuff I do,
it's huge on iteration.
It doesn't.
Don't you mostly do like managerial stuff these days anyway?
Yeah. I'm just the boss man. I'm cracking the whip.
Like Microsoft Excel runs fine on my computer.
Technically,
you can do that on a fucking Chromebook, so
Yeah, I'm a QA person now. I basically all day long I sit in VR, I play my game, I tell them, and then I make cards and say, "This is broke. Fix this. Fix this. Fix this. Fix this. Fix this. Fix this."
That sounds depressing. Like so much of my I wish I had more time
instead of having to fix it.
I mean, somebody's got to do it,
I wish I had more time. I mean, we're so much of my days are like just R&D, for future stuff that I want to implement, and then my other guys implementing bug fixes for stuff like this or whatever. And right now, I'm working on different facial animation.
Who finds your bugs?
All of us.
All of you.
Well, we usually do a dedicated, sweep of testing towards the end of when we're launching something.
We check stuff at least once a week.
I mean, it's constant.
Whenever I have anything that could be anything new, I always test it at least once or twice.
I do think we're going to
has to be fixed and tested. And
I do think we're going to calm down a little bit on how we have been doing releases in the past. Like what it used to be was very much like we're coding up until hours before launch. And that's just not very
Not good.
But there was a giant
Not
bug
healthy.
in the 2.1. It was a giant bug in the 2.1 demo that we didn't catch because it was a feature we implemented like 2 days prior.
Not to quote Elon Musk, but you got to do a code lock. Got to do a code lock.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Giant companies like build in production all the time. Like look at Facebook. They build with millions of fucking users, and just like if shit breaks, they're like, "What the fuck ever." We're not really at that scale, obviously, but it's a thing that
That's
can
like
work.
how my game works too. Like people on Discord are like, "Hey, nothing's working." And I'm like, "Oh shoot, I forgot to check that box. Probably should have tested that build before I published it."
Yeah. So I don't know. We're gonna
Give me
maybe
30
try to
minutes,
do
I'll
like a
patch that.
couple of weeks of QA now. I think before we do launches. That's probably a
I
pretty
agree.
good
I think-
idea.
That's the best idea. I think.
Yeah.
I
Like
would
this-
give yourself a deadline to finish something, and then once you've gotten to that point, don't do anything else except bug test. And then
the problem is my deadlines are always incredibly fucking ambitious because I have a lot of faith in what we can do if we work extremely long hours and work hard. But it's, I just have this expectation that everyone should work as hard as I do, and that's not really feasible, unfortunately.
I don't think that's not a fair or a realistic thing to expect of anyone.
Well, get good, scrub.
I mean, I don't need to. I have a billion people working for me.
Come on, man. You don't make your people work 16-hour days?
No, never.
What a
Never.
shame.
I think we have had a few crunch nights where we really wanted to make sure stuff is nice.
I'm pretty sure my longest at this point is 25 hours.
But I don't think anyone's done. We did. I mean, we've done like a 20. I've had me and Brian, my business partner. We've had 24-hour days.
Yeah.
A few times when we were running up against the deadline, we had like it was like there's no choice. Shit's broken.
Yeah.
We have to fix it.
Yeah.
Like we were panicking one night. The performance on Quest was like dog shit, and we couldn't figure out why. And we just sat there for like 3 hours, like 12 hours, panicking, trying to figure out, well, what the fuck? Why is this not running on Quest? And then we eventually, did a whole bunch of shit, and it eventually ran. But it was like
what ended up being the problem?
there was like these cameras, because I like when I set up my cinematics, I like to slap cameras in the map and kind of like plan them out. And then those cameras were for some reason all rendering.
Weird.
While,
Good job.
in the map, like they were set to like record data while being played still, and so like
They
were
on
fucking
tick?
just on tick. Yeah.
Wow, holy
so like
shit.
we had like 500 cameras running all at once, and then and once we got rid of them, it fixed it. But it took us forever to figure out what the fuck why. Because that shouldn't have been the case. Because there's just a little tick box you can check on the camera to make it not do that.
Yeah.
And
so much stuff in Unreal is just a tick box. I love it.
yeah, we actually, so like now we just finished our alpha, and then it runs on Quest at full frame rate, and I was not expecting that because 2 weeks ago it was at 12 FPS. So
That's nice,
I was like, oh fuck, there's no way we're gonna get this done in time for the milestone this week, and we fucking.
Nice.
Apparently culling wasn't working, but we fixed it, and now.
How'd you fix culling? What are you using for culling in UE5? Because like
just our
default culling
models.
is not a thing anymore.
Well, we don't use UE5 because of that.
Oh, that's
and
right. That's right. So you're
million other
using
reasons.
software occlusion, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And just using
I don't
like
know.
the bounding box to handle it.
Yeah. So the
That
culling is
sounds
perfect.
right.
The culling is amazing now. The game actually runs at like 90 frames per second in most places. It's fucking sick. And we have this huge open world. Like it's a pretty big map. So I'm pretty happy with that. And
Awesome.
yeah. But it doesn't have any props in it yet. So that's gonna be the next big.
That's a big
performance
problem,
killer. Yeah. But we're running above 72 in a lot of places. So it's gonna be good.
Have you seen about lightweight instances in UE5?
Yeah.
Pretty
There's
impressive.
so much stuff. There's so much amazing stuff in UE5, but there's so many things that we have to have that we can't.
I found a really strange bug that's very frustrating. You know, like if you copy like if you like alt drag out from a mesh or whatever, and it just creates a duplicate.
Yeah.
If you do that with a skeletal mesh that's like modular, it doesn't actually doesn't update the pieces, and it just claims that there's nothing there.
That's weird.
So if you try to go to it in the content browser, it doesn't work, and it won't update the mesh until you clear out the mesh data and then reset it. What a fucking disaster! How did that get through QA?
I don't know. It probably didn't get QA'd. That's the thing.
Fucking maybe.
You're the QA. Anytime you use a big company software that's free, you are the QA.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a bug.
Like the people that buy my game in early access, like
they're the QA. There's this bug on Unreal with Oculus and Unreal on Quest where there's like an input delay or input spikes where it'll just sometimes think that you just stop holding down the trigger, and so it'll drop whatever item or thing you're holding on to just randomly, even though you're still holding the thing. And only 3 companies have ever even, or only 3 games have ever even reported that bug, including us. And it's just like this thing that it makes, and the way to fix it is we had to put like a input delay on the game. So like there's like an input buffer, and then we've delayed it so that minute presses of the trigger won't make you drop stuff. And that makes throwing complete ass. Throwing is complete ass in our game at the moment because we can't fix it.
Yeah, you gotta make it like go backwards, and because that's on my game. Instead of calculating right when you let go, it actually goes back. I think like 5 frames or something, and then it goes back like 10 frames on like does some kind of average thing.
Yeah, that's the fix we're probably gonna have to add to it, because that's kind of what we were thinking about. Faking it.
Well, sounds like I'm even more glad that we didn't add in throwing weapons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a lot to get that right.
Fuck that. Although it'll still probably end up being a problem with like spells, because like how like summoning a fireball, you like pull the right or left trigger of whichever hand you want, and then like it spawns into your hand, and then you throw it. So it's like
I feel like just faking that kind of stuff with like splines or whatever, it just feels better in my opinion.
Just have it auto like go at the
yeah. Just like fake, but make the player. You can fake it, because like our ping pong mini game is legit just splines. Every time you hit it, it has a predetermined spline that it could potentially go on, and so there's no physics. There's no physics other than like how hard.
How would you really design that for like a fireball when there's like 300 different dungeons? It doesn't seem feasible.
Oh, no. What you'd do is you'd have it automatically create between your point and like the closest enemy or whatever enemy. Yeah. Or you can have it like fire like a direction, and whichever enemy's closest to that angle, like it'll go
make it
to that enemy.
A dynamic spline, not something that you have to make for every possible scenario.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah.
We have these seagulls in our game that if you go fishing and you throw the line in, and then if you don't grab your fish fast enough, these seagulls will fly in and steal your fish, and it has to be dynamic. It has to work anywhere in the map that you can fish. Right? And so the seagull will come in, he tracks, but he's flying on a spline that's kind of handcrafted. But it's like it's dynamic. It's generated its location dynamically, so the seagull will fly in from behind you. Out of your vision, so you can't see it spawning in, and then it'll swoop in, grab your fish, and then fly off into the sunset. And it's all just done with splines. It's sick. But yeah, I highly recommend using splines for anything you want to fake.
Not a bad idea.
We even use splines on our NPC, when you touch stuff in VR or whatever. Like our fingers have like little splines that kind of have like hit like a detection that kind of like forms your hand based on the splines when you touch stuff. I don't know how to properly
describe it. That's an interesting way of doing that. Yeah,
but it's fucking, I don't know. It's really cool.
I don't know that kind of do what they call it, but it's the.
I mean, we don't think about replacing our hands,
but it does it with like raycasting line, like it kind of.
Yeah. That's basically that's basically what it is. Yeah,
we're thinking about replacing our hands with something that's like raycasting for like automatic hand pose deformation, because like I don't know, that's been another complaint that some people had, like, why do your hands disappear? Like, because fuck you, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Job Simulator does it. I mean, it's not the worst. It's honestly your
Super
hands
Hot does it
disappearing.
also.
Yeah, your hands disappearing is not the worst thing in the world. Like sometimes it's better than ugly hand poses.
Yeah,
Or
I don't
better
know.
than seeing
I
a
kind of
flat
feel like
stump on the end of it. I'd
Yeah,
rather
no,
disappear.
stop. I like the flat stump. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Just
kind
do
of
like the
feel like
Powerpuff Girls' hands, or you just touch stuff. And
it would
fix it.
be
Yeah.
it would be a really nice addition for like the player to be able to like see if they have like an iron gauntlet or some shit equipped. It would be really nice for them to be able to see that. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It's good to have hand stuff. It's just it's not the end of the world if you don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even manually doing the hand poses though, it's not too bad. I mean, because you can usually get like one pose to work for like most of the weapons. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. That's a lot.
'cause, I mean, for mine, I mean,
We
my
have, like,
weapons, I
9,000
actually
items
like. I
in
kind of
just
use
weapons,
a
I think.
dynamic thing to place it initially, and then I go in and adjust the fingers and everything by hand. So, I mean, it's not as time consuming as you think, especially if you have like a plugin that does like it gets it 90% of the way for you. But
I
even
don't know. Like.
yeah.
I feel like maybe we're just going to end up replacing our character controller with one of the ones that has like you had said, Dima, like that's figured out like how to properly deal with inclines and shit like that. Because like our incline, like the way we're dealing with inclines is just
I
not
forgot,
amazing.
that's what I was gonna tell you. I was like, man, I cannot walk up these stairs quickly. Like,
Yeah, like it's
it
like
drove me nuts, dude.
I mean, slowing down upstairs is realistic because who the
Yeah.
fuck is sprinting up staircases usually?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, usually.
like it's like a problem with Unreal for some reason, at least for that we've seen, because like we try to change the slope adjustment and the acceleration, like nothing fucking fixes it. I mean, it used to be a lot
maybe you
worse,
just turn
but
off
you know, it's
gravity when
just
you hit the stairwell or something. Or...
super frustrating. I mean, maybe.
I don't know how the physics work in Unreal, but I would say reduce the friction. 'Cause in Unity, you got the friction.
Yeah. I don't know, but there's a fuckload of plugins out there that just like have a character controller that's got all that figured out, you know. So,
Well, you can't use VRGK, sadly.
well, yeah, didn't
Why?
they like discontinue support for UE5?
Well, because it's impossible to support for UE5 because the physics bugs in UE5 are
Yeah.
so egregious that you cannot use any of his stuff because everything in his thing is physics based.
Yeah.
So like you would never be able to use it, and it's so annoying. Is why we can't use UE5 just because of that one fucking thing.
Who's here now?
Announce
It's
yourself.
Thomas from Fletcher Studios.
Thomas.
Oh hey!
So I'm assuming it's PJ, it's Robert, it's Dima, and Wookie.
No, that's just Justin.
You're so close.
Justin, okay.
So close. You were so close. You got. I almost got it.
Haven't been batting 100 lately, but hey. By the way, Dima, I saw you hit 500K on a video. Nice job, sir.
Yeah, thanks. It was a shit post, and I can't believe it did good. So.
And that's what hits, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, like, we could say we knew him when. This is awesome.
Yeah, we knew it when. Yeah, I think 500K though is still not huge on TikTok though. That's the sad part. That's the sad part.
That's a lot
Is
of
it's
fucking
like-
eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but obviously it blows Twitter out of the water. Like that's like a,
That's like
it's
at
insane.
least 950,000 eyeballs, man. That's a lot.
It's I guess you're right. I guess with two eyeballs.
Well, not everybody,
least.
so you know.
Yeah.
Stop being ableist, Dima.
Wow, my VR game is the most. It's got the most accessibility options. Frustrating.
Yeah, it's got a lot more than mine. I'll tell you that.
It's
Mine has a lot.
frustratingly accessible. Eventually, you'll be able to play
Anybody
it with
getting like
just one hand.
colorblind? Because that's
Justin,
one of the
I'm colorblind.
He's colorblind, so he's an expert.
red, green, or yellow, blue.
Red green.
Okay.
Severe
That's one of-
Dutan.
Okay. Yeah, it's just somebody was mentioning like you planning on doing your stuff in colorblind and like just never even occurred to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's,
Oculus has a built-in overlay for it now, so it's kind of like
Get out.
fucking deal with it. I don't know.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, if that actually works well, then that's a really.
I mean,
nice-
it's
didn't
just a
know that.
color filter. It's in the accessibility settings. They added it with version 42, I think, because I was asking for
Wow.
it consistently.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That
that
is
is
pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah. At the moment, we don't have, other than just pure art style changes or whatever. Like we don't have any color based anything really. There's no color. There's no like.
What's the most difficult accessibility option to like implement into a game? Would you guys say?
I think for me, there's two at least. There's making sure your entire game could be played with a teleporter, and then the other one is one-handed, being able to play your game one-handed.
Yeah.
I will say, luckily, you could play. You can definitely play Heartlands one-handed. I don't know about fucking teleportation's not going to happen, but you know, one-handed is definitely doable.
Because we ideally want my game to be able, like, I want it to be as accessible as possible. It can be played by literally anyone at any time.
Yeah,
whether you're laying
makes
in
a lot
bed
of sense.
or
okay, that part doesn't make sense. Maybe not laying in bed.
Yeah, you can totally you can play my game laying in bed. You can play it sitting on your roof. You could whatever. I don't know.
I don't even know how we're gonna handle people sitting down. Like Heartlands is a very active game.
I mean,
you better get your ass up.
I played it sitting down. The only thing you need to do is just literally.
Yeah, and you're at dick height with our characters, and that's you know.
Yeah, you just gotta give the player the boost to height and like, or you just shrink everything down to half size because that's how Samurai Slaughterhouse does it. If you play sitting down, and it's so much fun because you're like a little 3 foot tall guy with baby hands, and you're fighting all these other little 3 foot tall guys. It's so great. Like next time you play Samurai Slaughterhouse, like load your game sitting down, and it's awesome.
I did not know.
I mean, we do support like moving the actual floor and moving like the inventory ring and stuff like that. So like you can put it on your fucking head if you want to, your hip, whatever you want to do with it.
Right,
I mean, we have a mode that just adjusts your, an offset of the player height. Like,
I mean,
it reads your player height in VR, and then it offsets your height in game, and then it just does it. It works. It's great.
Just add 16 inches, you'll be all right. That's what the Oculus one does.
Well, so I think another accessibility thing that's really hard for me, especially because my game is dialogue heavy. It's like more dialogue than like the Bible or something. It's like a book. It's like it's huge. There's so much dialogue, and so one of the things is like coming up with the UI for the dialogue, where it pops up in front of the player, where it, and because it's in 3D, our dialogue's in 3D space. We're not doing any kind of like overlaying thing. So it's like a dialogue in 3D space. So you have like this spatial thing where sometimes it looks better if the dialogue's above the NPC's head, right? Mm-hmm. But because our NPCs all have various heights and everyone else in the world has various heights, I feel great. I love having the dialogue over NPC heads because I'm taller than almost all the NPCs. But my rider, she's like, 5'2" or something, and she was like, she's like, I can't read the dialogue. I have to look up for too long, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And so like giving as many options for like something like a dialogue, that you could do is it's hell.
Just thinking the biblical quote thing now. It's like, verily I say unto you, get a footstool.
Get a footstool. Yeah. So like you have a few options, right? You can just try to figure out, give the player an ability to move that dialogue box to adjust where that works for them, and then as best as possible. And then, because like if you made everyone taller, right? Like if you made a short person taller than they really were, then it's not as, it might feel weird to them.
Yeah, it could cause nauseousness and all that.
Because I made so my town is like, it's in Japan, right? And so like, I made it to scale of like doors in Japan. They're way shorter than America, and I constantly feel like it's wrong.
Yeah, aren't you like fucking 6'4"?
Yeah. And so like I walk around my town. I'm like, everything is so fucking short. It's like, what did I do? I did it wrong.
You just need a DEMA kneecapping mode. That's what you need.
Yeah, that's what I need. Yeah.
just lop off 6 inches. You'll be fine.
Just lop off 6 inches. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind losing a few inches because it's like I question everything. But everyone else who plays it's like, yeah, this is normal. I'm like, all right, fine. Enjoy your short kingdom.
You normal bastards.
Yeah, you normal bastards.
You should just have it scale up the whole world like based on the player's height, or just change the player scale so it scales up everything.
Yeah. No, that still makes like, because some people know, like, okay, I'm taller than this thing in real life, right? So then they're like, well, this is weird. I'm not used to tables being this tall, right? Or short, or I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing. No one else has a problem. It's just me because I'm too tall. That's everything. Everyone else is fine with the height of stuff.
I like being normal height.
Yeah. Things are just built for you. I get it.
Yep.
No one asked.
I'm 5'10". I'm normal.
No one asked.
The average American height.
Things.
That's what
I don't know. My wife's pretty short. She does. So you know.
Okay, there you go.
Says I'm 5'10". That's like the only way I know how tall I am because I never really measure myself.
That's funny.
One of the things
So I know
love
it's
to
like my
see,
floor height is set right.
Yeah.
if we could make like remember the old school rat style levels that they would have in like Counter-Strike or Team Fortress, where everything is just ginormous and you're like the size of a rat running around like on a kid's room or something. That would work so well in VR, I think.
Yeah.
I thought about
I
something
wanna
like
make
that,
a
like
racing
making
game
a
like that
game
where
where
you,
like you're
like,
really
do RC
tiny. That
cars.
makes be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
like small
That's definitely a
soldiers.
great. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely a great thing in do well in VR. I think.
I mean, one of the
Like,
things-
doing art for that would be super cheap because everything would be giant.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Floating around in my my like notebook of just ideas that I scribbled down is like a prequel to Half-Life, where you're in the 70s and you visit Dr. Kleiner, and he's this like mad Doc Brown type guy, and he's got a shrink ray. So
He's got a shrink ray.
Yeah, and you get, like the size of an inch or something, and you get knocked outside, and your whole mission is just to get back so Doc can rebigify you.
Rebigify you. That's a word. That's. I like
Yeah,
that.
one game that I loved on the 64 was the Army Men games, and that would be freaking amazing in VR with every, like if you're playing in the bathroom and the fucking tub's like the size of the world. That'd be cool.
Toy Story 3 is pretty good too. I was playing that game the other day while I was waiting for stuff to compile. I was like looking what's on the Xbox Game Pass or what at free games, and I was like, oh, I heard good things about Toy Story 3. And it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Either that or since I've been watching the kids, I don't know if I remember like your mom taking you clothes shopping and you're in the second grade and you're running in between like all the clothing racks and stuff. Deathmatch style like that, where you're like ducking in between all the shit that adults are like, where the hell is the kid? And you're just
You're just out.
sorry, cat. I didn't mean to step on you. My cat's bugging me for food, and she's like underfoot, and like, damn it, cat.
Yeah, cats in VR are just danger accidents waiting to happen.
And they just don't get it either.
Yeah.
This thing on my face, I cannot see you. Do you see my eyes? I can't see you.
My cats get it, and they hate it. They get pissed. Anytime I put on a VR headset, they start wailing like, "Wah!"
I got a VR.
Can't
And
look
then my
at
dog
me.
too, like sometimes if she wants to play, like, and she's put the VR headset, just start barking at me, so I can like hear it.
It's like you're a different person when if you can't see their whole face.
Yeah, but she's just sleeping right now, being lazy.
Yeah.
Sleep. What is that?
Sleep, it's great. I love sleep.
I kind of hate sleep.
Yeah, you said that last time. You hate sleep, bro.
I really do. I hate sleep and I hate food.
Well, you'll be a billionaire one day, I guess, because that seems like something. It's a good trait.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll spend money on good food, but like, I just hate that it takes so much time. Like, we finally got a fucking vegan restaurant near us, which is insane. And we tried it tonight, and it's like the best goddamn vegan burger I've ever had. Shit was incredible.
Nice. Never had a vegan burger.
It was awesome.
Oh, the Impossible burgers, those are
My
pretty
mom
good.
gave me like a bean burger once. It was terrible.
I'm gonna, yeah. I like eating
I had a
animals.
shrimp burger. Yeah.
I just can't. Like, I have nothing against like. I don't give a fuck about the humanitarian reasons about like not eating meat. Like, I don't give a fuck about their suffering or any of that. No, fuck that. Like, we shouldn't eat baby cow. No, I don't give a fuck. None about. I don't like to bite into things that are chewy.
What?
That's
really?
all it
You
is.
really like gummy bears?
No, like gummy bears are fine. That's different. But like, I don't like meat. I don't like mystery things in my meat. Like one time I went to fucking Hardee's and had like a mushroom and Swiss burger from there, and there was a fucking bone in it. How does that happen?
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, that's like a. Bro,
yeah, that shit's unacceptable.
I grind my own beef like when I make burgers. Like I get like the steak and like I put it in there.
Oh hell
like, get like the fatty steak. Like
yeah, that's a good kind.
No, like, I won't eat fat and stuff either. Fuck that. It's gross.
What?
That's
dude,
the best part.
There is
the flavor.
Lamb has the best fat on the planet. Lamb fat
is fucking good.
It's God's gift to man. It is.
I'm starting to like puke into my mouth a little bit just thinking about it. It's awful.
Dude, if I could just buy lamb fat, I would. If I could just buy it and put it on a skewer, I would eat it. I would just.
That'd be so juicy.
Amazing. Oh.
One of the best things I've ever eaten. When there was a barbecue place in Brooklyn, and we just got like a thing of fatback. And you know that you're basically just eating fried fat, but it was so good, melt in your mouth.
That is so disgusting.
That's good shit.
Really
you know what?
But it's so good.
It was so good.
Fat. The wet chicharron is really good too. It's like skin with like the fat attached on it, and like
Jesus fucking Christ, you savage!
That's amazing. No, dude. One fat I don't care for is like on my steak when it's like a little. On my steak. For some reason, I choked on some fat one time, or like some gristle or something, and I got traumatized as a kid from eating steak. So I don't ever.
See that trauma never went away from me ever. Fuck that.
I'm still a little cautious about steaks sometimes, but really, it's an I'm not 5 anymore. I'm not going to die.
If you want trauma, you watch like your 6-year-old kid suddenly stand up. Because he's just pounding down his chicken, and he just got the piece with the bristle and the fat and everything's attached, and he's like, kind of like
that's
trying to say he can't breathe. And you have to like reach into his mouth and pull out this like 6-inch string of meat, bristle, and everything.
See, that's why you don't eat meat.
I don't want to be a kid. I don't. I'm going to put off having children for another 20 years. I think.
I'm fucking with you there. Fuck that.
Thank you.
The only reason I
shellfish got stuck in the back of like my wife's throat. I had to go back in there with tweezers and pull it out. It was nuts. Like,
really?
Wow. Yeah, it was like a little like leg of a crawfish or something. It looked like a little stick, and like she kept trying to clear her throat and she couldn't get it out. And then like I looked down the flashlight and it was just straight stabbing in there. I had to reach real far back too with the tweezers.
Holy
just, like,
fuck!
It was
I'm
like a little
stop eating now. I'm gonna live Robert's life.
It's the way to be, man.
Ain't nobody choked to death on celery. Am I
exactly
right? Am I right?
Well, I don't know. Celery's kind of stringy. I kind of fuck celery. Yeah. But like, I don't know. I couldn't go full vegan though, because like I love cheese too much, and vegan cheese tastes like fucking cardboard ass cheeks. I don't know. It's terrible.
Cardboard ass cheeks. Damn.
Like I love like mac and cheese way too much to like give up. Like I tried vegan mac and cheese tonight at that place, and like I have eaten cardboard. That's not important. I'm not talking about that part. But like legitimate not like people like, oh, Little Caesars pizza tastes like cardboard. No, not like that. Like there's a distinct aftertaste of legitimate cardboard from that mac and cheese, and it was terrible. But the burger, oh my god, it was amazing.
Like, it wasn't that bad.
No, the burger was fucking incredible. The best goddamn burger I've ever had. But
man, what was it?
The mac and cheese was kind of not great. Fuck, I don't know, some kind of beans.
So, how do you think we can just get past eating cardboard? Like, what's going on there?
That's not important. Let's move on. So let's talk about Unity and how it sucks. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Oh no. I can't tell if I'm VR sick right now or actual sick from just all this.
I was young. It was a dare. My cousins were dickheads. Same thing with dog food. Those fucking assholes.
Wow. What?
Well, I've eaten dog food before. Like when my friends were a kid, we were like how do you know it really tastes like bacon and cheese? Like they could be lying to us, so we tasted it and like, they're like yeah, it kind of does.
You
like,
see, my sister is 8 years older than me, and she was like lying to me, like, "Oh yeah, it tastes great." The dog eats it, and look how happy he is. And
God.
and then when I got older, like I looked at the ingredients, I'm like, this is just the same thing as people food. So a lot of times I would taste it just to see like if their claims about it, like, taste like what it was true. And like for the most part, it's the same as people food, but with like no flavor at all. Like I'm like, now I know why dogs go all crazy. Like when you give them a little bit of people food because their food doesn't taste like shit. Like it's super bland.
Well, not only that, they also have like more taste buds and more, smell olfactory sensors. But a neat little piece of trivia is thanks to the Depression, all pet food has to be human grade because people were so poor back in the Depression that they were eating pet food and dying from it.
Dying from it? Shoot. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So if we ever have another Depression and you have to like just,
it's
look
coming
at the dog
like next year, so
My dog's food is expensive. Like sometimes I just like make chicken for my dog and it's cheaper than buying expensive dog food.
My cats, they used to love eating chicken, but now they won't fucking touch it.
Yeah, when I like chicken or like she like steak too, sometimes, but like if
No
I give her
flavor
too
to
much
it.
too fatty. I like cut out. I eat all the fat all from it. I take the fat off of her steak, so she can't have fat.
Yeah,
she get the runs.
Yeah. Speaking of the runs, oh man, salmon. You know what's really good? Fried salmon fat. Next, my
what the
fat
fuck is with you and all
aficionados.
these fat things?
I do like salmon.
I
made
get
it in the
salmon.
air
Like
fryer, but
I
didn't know you
hate
could buy just
salmon too.
fat.
Because
love
it's a weird fishy meat that I know is fish. I don't want to explain that
What?
either. My wife
What?
loves salmon.
No.
I don't get it.
You know what's better than salmon? Swordfish. Swordfish is amazing.
I've never had that.
I make
I had
really good swordfish too.
Really, because I had swordfish and I thought it was the most bland thing on the planet. But I think I had bad swordfish because my other friend was selling the same thing. Instead of at Thanksgiving, instead of turkey, they just buy swordfish because it's cheap.
Wow.
on Thanksgiving or whatever.
Oh really? I should have bought
Yeah.
stocked
Maybe
up
we
on it
should
'cause,
try
yeah,
that.
it's good. It's more like kind
Yeah.
of expensive too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, scallops are really good too. Those are sometimes expensive. Those are like hard to find too. Not all stores carry them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love food.
I hate it so much.
Some lobsters or something, lobster tails or something.
Such an immense waste of money and time.
No, not an immense waste of money, I don't think, but I think
Yeah.
you know what is kind of bad though. I was in China and they had like this they have these restaurants where you can go and pick your seafood out of the tanks. I actually didn't like it because it tasted like the tanks it came out of.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tasted like fish
It
tank.
tasted like the tank smelled. Yeah.
Yeah, the tank smell, And then I bought this. My father-in-law bought me this lobster that was like 4 feet long lobster. It was like the biggest fucking lobster you've ever seen in your life. There's monster Australian lobsters, and it tasted like butt. Tasted like butt. I covered it in cheese, and it tasted like butt.
Cheese.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
never
that's what I
heard
said.
anyone
I was like,
putting
what the
cheese
fuck?
on lobster.
How did this
Don't
turn
put-
into a food podcast? What the fuck?
I don't know. It's food's
Dad's
great.
got to eat.
Dev's gonna eat. Damn, I'm hungry now.
I got food in my game. I got like
I
sushi.
will-
One of them like
I will
slows down.
happily
Yeah.
just take my food pill when that's an option.
I wouldn't mind a food pill, but I would definitely want to eat sometimes.
I don't know, man. When I got
You need
COVID like
to-
a month ago, like when I
Eating too.
started losing smell and taste, like I instantly became depressed, and I hadn't been depressed like that in like decades. And
Oh yeah, I would be depressed. I would fucking want to
Yeah.
die. Like eating is all I care about.
I sat on the couch and just stared at the wall, and I'm like, life sucks until
Yeah.
it came
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, eating's just like that one thing you do during the day where no one's gonna like haggle you about it. You're just eating because I gotta eat to live, right? And you get to sit there and enjoy it. And unless you have kids, then they're fucking psychos. But but at least eating is just like this escape that you just delicious.
And you
Even
have
if
to
it's
watch,
something simple.
I watch shows
Yeah.
while I eat. It's nice.
Yeah, you can watch shows. Like it's just like that one thing. Like no one's gonna bother you while you're eating. Because it's like
Unless
I'm
you
eating.
have kids.
Unless you have kids, like that's the only exception. Like, every other civilized human being won't disturb you while you're eating for the most part. Like
Kids,
That's great.
no.
No,
I want ketchup. I want this. I want that.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at this.
yeah, yeah. That's when eating becomes hell. Then it's like, I wish I had food pills. Yeah.
Even more reason to not have kids. Thanks.
No. It's not all bad. Come on.
Nah, it's
No,
pretty bad.
Yeah,
No,
there's
no.
certain things that are nice, but I'm just.
I don't
waiting
think
for the day
you
that-
could pay me to have kids in the next 10 years.
when they start like doing things like being able to cut the grass, then
Yeah, that's
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that outweighs like the screaming and the annoyance.
But it's
Well,
only like a few
he's
He's
years.
like, well, at
It's
least I don't
only
have to mow the lawn.
it's
Or
only a
like,
few
or they get
years of
older and then they
annoyance.
start to think they know shit, so they try to tell you things. Fuck off.
Well, all humans do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you still do that. What
Yeah,
are you
yeah, but
talking about?
the difference is I can tell an adult to get the fuck out of my house. If you do
Yeah,
that to a
that's true.
kid, that's rude.
My parents did it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Yeah.
kicked out at 13, but hey.
Yeah. Yeah, I had an aunt who would like lock if she was watching us, she would just lock us outside. So we had no choice. We couldn't go inside the house. And so like it was awful. I loved outside
Don't
though,
touch
so it
the
didn't matter. But,
wallpaper.
yeah, don't touch the wallpaper. God. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm-
that crazy aunt's right, because I look at my walls and I see little handprints all over the
Yeah,
place.
yeah, no, she was not wrong. I mean, she's not wrong because we destroy houses, but damn, sometimes it's hot in the
She's
summer.
like, I didn't have kids for a reason. I'm not going to have to have
Yeah.
my sister's kids destroy my
Yeah,
house.
yeah. No, she had her own kids. She had her own kids, and they never got to go inside. They lived outside.
Like, they at least slept in a tree house.
They had to stay out. No, they legit had to stay outside until the sun went down. They could not go in the house during the day. It was insane. She was
Like,
nuts.
if they
She
had
was
to come in
nuts.
through the window, they couldn't go through the
Yeah.
window.
Yeah, no, there's no way. You just bolted, couldn't do nothing. I feel so bad for them, dude. Like because we live like right next door, right? And they're just like fucking outside baking in the sun. Like the sun is just bearing down. There's like, and I'm just sitting there in my air conditioned house playing Nintendo, and they're just looking in my window.
Mocking
And I'm
them.
like, I'm sorry, I can't let you in.
They're all like peeking through the window.
Yeah, no, they would. What they would do is when they got locked out, they'd come to my house, and I would like pretend I wasn't home because they're so annoying. They're like super
You're like, I'm not
annoying.
taking turns on the Nintendo. Screw that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, because one time they deleted my save file,
Oh,
and it was
bad.
through the
Some
game. I
delete
had
them.
And then that was it. Like, it was over.
and I had spent
And then-
years on that. It was like some Zelda game. I played it for years, and then
Oof.
fucking they just deleted my main save file, and I was like, "Bro, you're dead to me."
Yeah. Save
Never
files
again.
are thicker than blood.
They are. They really are. It's fucked up. Things kids today will never know. Things
No
they'll
shit.
never get to experience.
Actually, though, what's nice is, when my kids started getting interested in video games, I was looking at what I was playing. It's like, oh, you can't play that. So
Yeah.
the wife and I got gifted a Wii system when we got married.
Really?
Yeah, and we pulled
Yeah.
that out of the closet because we hadn't touched it for years. And it had because back when they had the Wii store, I went and got
Yeah.
like Super Mario Brothers 3, original Legend of Zelda,
Nice.
and stuff like that.
Nice.
They got to play and actually beat the old classics.
Nice.
And yeah, I consider it a proper education that they got to. And what I'm loving now is that my oldest, the kid that I'm doing the game based on the artwork,
Yeah.
he is
Mhm.
learning Unity, and he's
Mhm.
doing like a 3D interpretation of the map of Legend of Zelda because he
Oh,
saw
nice.
a YouTube video of somebody doing it in 3D in Unity with like Pro Builder or something. And yeah, he's just going and he's making the map, and he's just doing his little thing. He's cribbing like textures off the internet stuff, and I'm just like,
Nice.
that's
so
my
cool.
boy. That's my
cool.
boy.
Like I wish I could have done that as a kid as easily, or like
Right?
as accessible. Like that was like not really something I could easily do. So, yeah.
I mean,
jealous.
back when I was his age, I was like, in basic, 10/go to, 50 and print a pixel at 20/40.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. I'm glad I
I
got
thought
to
it was
skip
like
that
Quick and
part at
Play,
least.
RPG Maker. Good times.
Yeah, I tried to learn RPG Maker, but I failed every time. I was so bad at it.
I was really good at it. I made like a Pokemon clone in it, like where you can like catch the monsters you fought and stuff. And I made like a Zelda clone, but it was kind of like Zelda, but it was like more RPG-ish. Like you got experience like from killing the enemies. You could level up and stuff.
Wow. Yeah, look at you
it's pretty cool.
slaughtering the Slimirage. Slaughtering the Slim. That's crazy. I didn't get to do any of that. I couldn't figure that shit out when I was a kid. Oh.
Was there anything we didn't talk about?
I don't know. We talked about food.
From food to
So we did talk about performance. I mean, we talked about some other VR stuff. They happen.
You say performing arts?
Yeah, performing arts. Yeah, hey, those should get defunded. Get defund that right now. Tell you what.
Speaking of that, we'll be streaming Brendan Bradley's NPC show tomorrow. It'll be pretty sweet.
What's
If you
that?
guys haven't seen it, he's pretty talented. He sings and like dances and stuff. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, that's crazy. You should do
I
some
like live
TikToks.
stuff.
I was
Text.
lucky when I did the Oculus Launchpad program. One of the people that I did it with had this thing where it was a VR experience, except you were with an actor. And
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, it was really neat because you were like visiting Grandpa at various stages of your life. And, Grandpa would say, okay, well, we're going to play with this toy while you're in your crib. And then the next time you see him, he's got, here's that little, model kit. And you could like drive a little remote control car around and stuff. And you kept visiting him as you're growing. And he starts getting like dementia. And, he's got
it's the
post-it
dementia
notes
one,
all
yeah.
over the place. And it's like, oh, this is so sad. Like I kind of started connecting with this old guy. And next thing you know, he's like, just looking older. And the way this guy was acting him out, it was believable because he went from, stand-up kind of person to like hunched over, and his hair had changed color, and he was stuttering and not making sense. And it was just like, wow, this is like a little emotional experience that you got in VR. And this is like the future of things it could be. People would just be paid actors to just act out avatars. And part of the thing that I felt bad about was there was this part of my brain that's like, oh, I want to screw with this guy. I want to just, throw things at him and stuff. But he's an actor. He's like doing his craft, and I can't disrespect him like that.
Well, I mean, that's what would make it unique, though. If they reacted to your I would honestly give people the options to do that. Like, put it like a can in there and see if they'll pick it up and throw it at the actor and have them react to it.
Yeah.
I wish that stuff was more feasible or popular. It seems like a unique thing that's like
I wish there was more
to
money.
VR. Yeah, there's zero money in it. There's like $0, and like, because that's a really unique thing to experience. But
Yeah, the Under Presents was amazing when they had the live actors in there and you'd act out and do plays with them. And
So mad I missed all that. Yeah.
That stuff's really cool. It just doesn't seem profitable, or it doesn't seem feasible.
Financially,
There's just no money in it, and so it's like without a shit ton of money. Yeah, because you would need
Frank, there's no profit in it.
Yeah, did he fall asleep?
I don't know what he's doing.
Snorting some coke, maybe?
Probably.
You were talking about you.
How do you think I stay awake over here for 24 hours?
Yeah, something.
I thought it was furious masturbation, but maybe it is
Oh,
crack.
I don't think so. Not furious.
Like, everyone got home for the
Furious.
day. I got the studio to myself.
Okay. This is derailed. We're derailed beyond. There's no going back.
That's fine, I mean,
But
I think we know what you spend all your time on, D-Maw. You don't even have a studio, so
What do you mean? mean?
Jerking off to your, hentai porn or whatever it is you watch.
My VR girls are the girls in my game are cute. Get at me.
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
So we
that's
went
weird.
to,
I think what?
Going back to the live stuff, I'm gonna say the wrong name, but Dr. Evil's School for Disobedient Pets, they're still active, but I've done that like a bunch of times, and you can tell the main actor, like, can we not do a family friendly show, and they will totally play off anything you say to them, and it's a lot of fun, and they start fucking with you. Yeah, it's really neat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they give you chances to like improv and.
Yeah. See, that's a set. Like, that's such a cool thing, but I just can't see it. I don't know. It's just too niche, but so cool. I wish it was more of a thing that existed.
I agree.
I've never experienced this, so I don't really know.
Me either, but I mean,
and then
I
the
imagine what it would
movie,
be like in my head.
Yeah, the meta movie is a freaking amazing thing to go through too. They literally treat you like a movie star from start to finish, and there's like a before party, after party, and
oh, really? That's cool.
That's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And one thing I do want to do after, like, and maybe it's like a side project, if I can spin up, the ability to do, 7 things like Justin is doing. Then I would really like to do something that's kind of like autobiographical, It's like takes through like, life from like beginning to like current. I don't know.
Like, what was that in Rick and Morty? Like the game that he plays? It's called like Chef or something like that.
That would be cool.
I just feel like it would be a good way for me to deal with some of my own like internal like trauma.
It's
to like
therapeutic.
Exactly. I think it would be very good to like really like if I have to design a moment in a VR game where you're like an 8-year-old kid and this giant dude is holding you against a door and punching you in the stomach, like
Jesus.
I feel like maybe that would help me, get through that a little bit.
To relive it? Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if you could relive it, except you had a very powerful weapon in your hand to.
I did with a knife and be like that.
That's too deep for the psyche.
Your blood squirt like animations and stuff.
But there's all kinds of like potential case usages. Like one of the things that I'm doing, like the house that I grew up in, I haven't stepped foot inside 30 years, but I have a ton of photographs. And I've been rebuilding it in VR, and I'm using like pictures of like the wallpaper for the texture maps and whatnot. And I put a couple people in it, and they're like, if you could do this for people with like dementia or Alzheimer's or something, rebuild something from their past that they could go and visit, maybe that would help them like mentally reconnect.
I think we're only like a couple years away from being able to fully regenerate like 3D interior spaces with just video or images.
Actually, Mind VR is doing that exact thing right now. I've talked to them a couple times. Yeah? It's pretty crazy what they're doing with that.
What's it
for
called?
Dementia? Mind VR.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. I am writing this down right now because I'm going to check them right out.
I have their headset right here.
Get out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We filmed some stuff and I can't release it yet because they haven't launched. But yeah, I was doing a live thing where I had the headset on and they were like walking me through stuff, and I started talking about some like my parents and stuff, and I started tearing up.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many like potential things. Like, one of the other things that I was telling somebody about is like, imagine if you were able to play like any sport. Like, imagine going back to like the 1953 World Series.
I'd kill myself.
Either.
I don't get sports.
But that's
I get your point.
Yeah, look how big, Madden, NFL, or FIFA or whatever.
Yeah, they're
huge game sellers, and every year they've got a new, here's 2023's version. and people buy it. They, $60
For
a
some
pop.
unknown fucking reason.
But still,
Because
that's
they
like
like it.
guaranteed cash cow. Because here's this year's roster, and I get to incorporate my player and do my own NFL draft picks and stuff. And yeah,
That just seems like such. Maybe it's just like equally depressing that like I want to live in like this fantasy world of like swords and shit, and Dima wants to be an anime girl. But I just find like the whole sports thing with like fantasy teams and stuff incredibly cringy and depressing. I think it's maybe the exact same thing.
It's the same thing as like D&D, like literally.
I think so. Like I'm reflecting here. I'm not trying to be inflammatory. I'm actually reflecting. Like perhaps it's the same thing as like what I do. It's just different.
Sports is a little different. It makes like watching the things more interesting because it's basically like if some person's supposedly like your fantasy, quarterback, when that quarterback does well, like that weekend, you get like points for it. So like you just kind of get points for everything. It's a little.
So it's
different.
like gambling. It's like a gambling.
Yeah, exactly. It's gambling. It's gambling, but instead of winning money, you just win points. Unless you're gambling on it, and then it is gambling.
I knew people
usually
who,
the case. Like,
my best man made bank off of his fantasy leagues. He would walk away with at least $5,000 a year just based on him playing the numbers, and you'd sit down with a huge spreadsheet figuring out everybody's stats. But I remember a couple years ago there was a great Onion article of Walking Sports Database mocks sci-fi nerd database, and they would literally say the same thing, like, what is this? Dungeons and Dragons and elf stuff. Here I've got like Pete Rose's stats memorized. That's important. What's this over here?
I legit said that at work because the guys are talking about sports crap, and I'm not into it. I'm like, that sounds just like freaking RPG D&D shit. Like the 12-year-old me wants to kick you in the nuts right now because you bullied me.
That's funny.
It's all the same.
It's all the same. Everybody just wants to kick everyone in the nuts. I got it.
As soon as
apparently I had a problem with that when I was a
first,
kid.
like, VR game that comes out and foot tracking is rarely available.
Nut kicker.
You had a problem kicking people in the nuts when you were a kid?
Yeah, apparently like there's like a bunch of home movies of me just like seeing like a family relative, and just like the first thing I would do would just walk up to them and kick them in the nuts. I don't know why. It's just something I did as a kid.
And send it to the America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah, it's just nut kicks or dick punches. I don't know, man.
Just put that on TikTok like once a week. It'll get you more followers. Like,
just do that.
It's Ow My Balls, the home game.
Nut Kickers VR.
That's a game I could build in a weekend.
There's a guy on TikTok. I mean, there's a dude on TikTok who's making a game about slapping butts. And he has
of course
200,000 followers. He has like hundreds of thousands of followers.
Is it a VR game or it's like a flat game?
No, it's just a flat game. It's a game. It's like a gorilla tag, but slapping butts.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so you just run around.
That's a great application for VR.
Yeah, seriously, you're missing out. Y'all missing out.
Oh my goodness! What's her face? The VR gal, Adam Bomb Body. She's been doing all those like Japanese dating sim things, and all she does is go around smacking boobs and like, physics, yep, like that, and she's just playing with boobs, and it's kind of interesting and it's hysterical because as soon as like the virtual girlfriend gets horizontal, she'll go and teabag her, which it's hysterical.
I've never heard of any of this content before.
She was on my Comic-Con panel. Her videos are pretty funny.
Yeah.
She's been on our podcast a couple times. She's so fun to talk to.
Who?
Adam Bombody. She's actually in our art video when it's up there. The hand drawing she did of us is the first one that pops up.
I've never heard of that person before.
She's awesome.
I know of them, but I don't really know anything about what they do or anything. So
let me see if I.
Pretty sure I follow them on Twitter. But
she works at Live, and then she's on the podcast. I'm really bad with names. The old
one that Jose is
popular
on.
VR podcast that they kind of restructured.
Adam
She's
as
part
in
of
like Adam or Adam
that
Bomb?
now. ATOM, like Adam.
Adam ADOM.
Palm.
Yeah, her logo is basically her in kind of an old pinup costume sitting on an atom bomb.
Yeah, it's like Fallout.
I can't find them on Twitter. What the fuck? Am I misspelling?
She's on
pom-pom?
the side of a building in your game, Justin. I always wave at her when I drive by.
Oh yeah, and Vehicular Rampage.
Yep.
And on a calendar too.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's been expanding more into TikTok lately because I think she's getting more hits there.
It's just because there's billions of users on TikTok and
We
only
clearly need to do some kind of TikTok marketing, but like I have no idea
Oh
what the
yeah,
fuck to
because
put on there.
TikTok actually shows your videos to people too, like outside.
I have no
And it
idea
does,
Just your
what the fuck
friends'
to do
friends,
there.
like.
and it doesn't die in one day.
Yeah, I have
Uh,
like TikTok videos that are months old that still get like likes and comments on them. Like,
Yeah, my best Twitter posts are dead. They never come back. There's no fucking, they're never going viral again. They're dead content that'll never be used ever again. But on TikTok, they fucking pop 'em.
Remix and duet it.
yeah, because there's way more people on there that look at stuff than post stuff. So like, if you do like post things, like it shows it to people, like because people need more things to see the more they scroll.
I didn't. Okay, this was not who I thought it was. They follow me, but I don't follow them. Whoops.
Oh no.
So I gave him a follow. Pity follow.
Yeah, I like TikTok too because to watching VR content because I don't have like the attention span for YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I've thoroughly gotten really into TikTok. I mean, I enjoy the comedians that are on there, the fucking
Yeah,
the
like
e-girls,
comedians.
everything. I like it all. Dance videos, whatever.
Like
give it
comedians,
all
good
to
like
me.
science and like history stuff on there. I like.
Yeah,
Science history stuff.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a dude who talks about scary ass fish and stuff. Like it's cool.
There's a
Just-
lawyer guy that's on it. That's pretty good. He like
Is there-
watches car
is it the-
crashes and tells you who's at fault.
Oh, I thought you were talking about this. There's this lawyer. It's kind of like he's like this really old dude, and he's got all these rings on, and he looks like a really
Oh,
skeezy
that
lawyer.
fucking dude. I know that dude. Yeah.
I love him. I
I've
love
seen
him. I love his TikToks.
That dude seems like he would try to sell you someone else's teeth.
Yeah.
like, hey man, I got this jar. Don't ask where it came from, but you want them?
He's like,
No,
he's
get the
like,
fuck
wait.
away from me.
his catchphrase
Like
is
a
like,
fucking
whenever you
carny
get
or some shit.
arrested, tell him Carl's got you covered. Or some
Yeah.
shit. Like, I don't know. It's so funny, dude.
I wouldn't want to be in a room alone with that guy.
I would
I feel like
He's
I'd
creepy.
get molested. Fuck that.
Yeah, he seems skeevy as fuck, but
He
I love
really
his
does.
TikToks. I
Yeah,
love
the
his
TikToks
TikToks.
are fine, but I don't. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yep. Nope. I'm good.
There's this guy on TikTok. He doesn't have a whole lot of followers. Well, maybe he kind of does now, but he makes these like because I grew up in the South, just like Robert here. We grew up in Southern Georgia or whatever, and fucking there's this guy. He draws like these little shitty drawings, and then he'll put like country people like quotes that people from his small town will say on them, and he'll hack them out. And it's the
That sounds
funniest shit.
amazing.
It just gives me so nostalgic. It's like, yeah, I went to school with guys like that. Or yeah, that's my uncle. Yeah, It's fucking, I don't know. TikTok's amazing. I would never experience that content on Twitter because I wouldn't turn the sound on half the time.
Mm.
But I think in terms of marketing, any of you, marketing your game, I think TikTok is where
king.
you should be, where you should be doing it,
Yeah,
as opposed
That's
to
good because I've got a mentor who's kind of guiding me on my journey here, and he's like, "You got to make videos." So
I think you got to make videos.
the next thing I'm going to do is kind of like an old Team Fortress meet the team kind of thing, where
Yeah.
everybody that's helping me, either
Ooh.
my
Yeah, I wanted
kids,
to do one of those as
or-
well. Yeah.
my
Oh, we just
cat
had someone come and do like recordings of us for like a documentary style thing.
Nice.
I kind of
Yeah.
want
Maybe
it to be
super
like
interesting.
that, but since it's just me, I just want to be like, and here's my sound designer, and it'll be me wearing a different hat.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
That's a
See,
great
that's
idea.
good
It's like
stuff.
you in a
That's good
mustache, you
content.
in glasses. Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, that's good content. That kind of content would pop off.
It really would, yeah.
I loved your
Yeah,
acting
but that takes like work
in
to
your,
make. It's easier
in
just
your
to
games up on the TV when you're doing all those different characters.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
And there's tons of
Maybe
those
I could
videos
just do that.
too.
Just-
Yeah, where if you're talking to yourself back
What's
and
up?
forth. Do you like the videos where I'm trying to remember, was it Leslie Trailer Treasure or whatever, where she'd be like the one character, like the art director, talking to like the production manager, and she'd be wearing different outfits back and forth and making jokes off of that. You do your own art director versus.
I could do a combination of the two things. My favorite things are making fun of Southern people and talking about game development. So I could just combine those two things.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just a simple country game developer.
Exactly. Just make fun of all those. Yeah, it sounds great. I hate the South.
Make sure you're guzzling lots of horse paste.
Yep.
Today for my game dev, I'm eating my ivermectin.
Now this here's a rendering pipeline.
I could just bring back my Southern accent and just do that. Yeah, that sounds awful. That's why I killed that shit. No,
You should do that. You should like check it out video and take the whole thing and like with just overalls and no shirt underneath. Like
like a cigarette and a fucking mullet. Yeah, it sounds. Yeah.
like a Budweiser right there.
Yes.
Or no, you gotta go real hill. You gotta have like a Nat Daddy or something.
This here's a little game me and my brother cousin are making. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I think we offended Demaw.
Did he die? What the
First
fuck?
he was on the floor, and then he was like floating off into space.
Just didn't molest his ball for a second. Is he alive? What's going on with us?
Is he like the drunk dude at the party that's passed out? You should get the Sharpies and write all over him.
Yeah, I have a request for a feature added to this. Give us
Yeah.
Sharpie hands.
It's funny that once we get to our new platform, we have plans for bringing this setup back, like these pill hands and stuff. It's going to be fun.
You really should give us a whiteboard, and we could put dicks on it and stuff. It'd be great.
Yeah, I can
Just
imagine.
draw dicks on each other.
Just
Be
draw,
like that painting 3D.
yep, just draw dicks on each other's little ball heads. Yeah.
Do it on the back so you can say, "Hey, look at that!" And they turn around and you get big old schwants on his back head. I do have to get, gentlemen. Unfortunately, my kiddo needs bed by time, and I've got tuck-in duty. But thank you for the invite. I will try to pop in here a little more often. And
Thanks for showing up.
good.
It's great to have you.
yeah, maybe next time I won't just bring so much, eating fat content and actually have some more like game dev stuff.
That's all right.
This always devolves into something, so you like
Yeah.
that. So don't worry.
In any case, peace.
See you, man.
Right. Yeah,
I think we
probably
lost
gonna head out
D-Mod
'cause I
too.
gotta keep
Cool.
trying to fix this crap in Unity. So
Back to work.
yep. Have a good one. That was
Breaks-
fun.
breaks
Probably about the
over.
same.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And then there were two.
So now we can talk about everyone else.
Yeah, that fucking Justin guy, right?
What a
With
dick.
his hard work and his unity and his
Yeah.
and his face. And that DMOD guy with his awesome game. Fuck that guy.
His stupid round white face.
Yeah, exactly. All right then. Well, is something on fire? What the hell is happening? Okay. I don't know what's going on over there. Okay, bye.
You take the headset off. See ya.
Probably a good idea. I can see. I have a Quest Pro, man.
Nice. Thanks everyone for watching and listening and hanging out. This is our 15th roundtable. Every first Friday every month. Check it out.